So some of you might be done with sculpting after this point, especially if you're doing more of a simplistic style. Now, I will probably push mine a little bit further. I'll do some optional videos on that, on some more of finer tuning these skin textures a little bit further. But for now, let's look at texturing. And some of you might not be, again, like wanting to push this that much further. Now, again, like noting that I'm kind of cheating, I'm kind of being lazy. I'm not doing a whole lot of work on areas that I know I'm going to cover up with clothing. So that's something to think about. So what we want to do is for our texturing is we want to actually start UV unwrapping this. And we've played around with some of the auto unwrapping with as far as doing angle based or doing our smart UV project. But what I want to do is I want to actually start almost creating my own UV map. And you do that with seams. And how I do that is I select different edges or edge loops on areas that I want to start breaking up. And I kind of want to start breaking it up in sections. Like if I want to take the arm, separate the arms, I would go to UV, mark seam, and it leaves this red seam is where it's going to cut that um, that seam. And then if I wanted to select it on the other side, I can go up to select and I go to select mirror. And there's a hotkey for that as well, Control Shift M. And then the same thing, go to edge and I will go to create seam. And then start thinking about like the parts of the body that you need to start separating. Such thing as, the neck and the head is going to be separate from the torso. And this allow me to not only just because this is like the cylinder type shape that I need to break up anyways, but it also allows me to, maybe have more detail and make the head bigger than my UV than I need to maybe on my body. And then the head can be challenging. And we'll take a look at that in a second, but let's break up the rest of the torso. And then you want to think about too, kind of as much as you can, is try to hide some of these seams. Like think about areas that maybe won't be as visible than the rest of it. Like maybe doing this arm seam down the backside of the arm. And this might not be the best too, but it kind of, as you're kind of moving along, think about areas that kind of make the most sense to break it up. And the same thing with the hands. There's different ways you can break up the hands. You could separate the thumb. Um, I kind of like to separate it so the hand is flat. You have like the palm, the top of the hand is separate. And then this might be kind of funky, but let's get the thumb in there too. But first, let's focus on the hand. it for now just to see what happens. I know that I'm gonna have to add some other edge loops here for some other seams, but let's go ahead and kind of just take a look at our UV. So let's go ahead and start by just creating a new material. Now that I have this old one, so this is the, if I just go to, I'm just gonna get my old ones that are from my, that I was using for retopology. And then we'll just use this new one. And I'm just gonna say skin. And then I'm gonna create the image texture. And let's go ahead and create, name it just skin tone 2048 by 2048, just to give us a little bit more detail. And color, just picking whatever neutral makes the most sense for your character. Even if you get it, not where you want it, we're going to end up painting over it later. And let's go ahead and create, So now if we go to our UV editing and we select all, it's crazy. Now we got a UV unwrap angle based, and our UVs look pretty decent. I might add some in the shoulders. So if I were to even do it, redo some of it, edge, work seam. Overall, I think that I can probably make this work. I might just move these around and kind of size stuff up. So again, like my detailed areas line up. But let's take a look at some of these round shapes. Curious what they are connected to. And you can always lock in your UVs. I go to, if I highlight this sync selection, you can kind of see what I'm doing in my edit mode, which sometimes helps out if I'm trying to say, okay, where is that lining up? Oh, so this is probably the inside something. Oh, I forgot to do my line on the arm. Okay. And then let's take a look at any other shapes that, okay, the rest of them look decent, except for this one. My ears actually came out fairly okay. I think this is the inside of the mouth. Yeah, that's the inside of the mouth. Let's see at the shape. And I could probably cut this a little bit better, but I think it'll be fine. So I'll go ahead and scale these down. So again, some of my more detailed areas, like the face, have a little bit more room. And stuff that, again, that I'm kind of cheating that I want to cover up with the clothing, it's not going to matter as much. Now I could probably continue to work on efficiency and really filling up the space, but I think this is good enough for now. So let's go ahead and save our texture. And then we'll start texture painting in another video.